Hey, 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 y'all. You know who it is. It's your girl, Alicia. I have a question for you. I want to know, are distractions keeping you stuck? You know, um, I want to say to somebody, and maybe you are feeling stuck, right? You feel like you're not making progress. You feel like you're not moving forward or moving fast enough. And I want you to take a step back and think, why could this be? Right? Sometimes we don't even realize how distracted we are and how we have lost our focus, whether it's an emotional distraction, whether it's a spiritual distraction, whether it's a relational distraction, or maybe it's social media, a digital distraction that's causing you to feel like you are not making progress. And sometimes, we get delayed. We feel delayed. Our growth is delayed. Our healing and our purpose is delayed because we are distracted by certain things and people, right? And sometimes we forget that, it's not that we don't lack discipline, because a lot of us, we have discipline. We just have not taken the time out to really examine ourselves and to really hone in on what is actually stealing my focus. And so, me, even as a social worker, right? Even as a therapist, even as, a woman of faith, I sometimes lose focus and I forget, okay, to take a step back and to look at the things that's actually distracting me from doing or from walking in my purpose and my journey, right? And so I need you to understand that when we're looking at distractions, it's not just about productivity, right? It's about protecting your peace, right? And honoring the things that God is developing in you. Sometimes when we are distracted, and I'm even speaking from my own experience, sometimes we feel scattered, right? We feel like we're not focused. Like our mind is just everywhere. We're doing everything but what we're supposed to be doing. And then we start to feel sometimes spiritually drained, right? And I get it. I get it. Because listen, I too sometimes have to look at myself and take a step back and say, wait a minute. It's too many distractions. And so I'm saying to you, my sister or my brother, yes, you. I'm talking to you. You paying attention, you. Sometimes we just got to remove the distractions. Too many things are taking our focus right now, right? And when we start to realize that things are taking our focus and we're being distracted, right? We have to start to take the necessary steps to get back on track. Let's talk about clarity. Let's talk about setting those boundaries, right? And realigning ourselves. Because, sometimes when we are distracted, we start to feel stuck. But you're not stuck. The problem is you're distracted. And so let's talk about how do we identify these hidden distractions, right? What do we do to make sure that we are not distracted? And so my question to you, my sister and my brother, is have you ever noticed that every time you try to grow, every time you try to do something or stay focused or accomplish a goal, you find something that's pulling you every which way? Your attention span is not even there, right? Maybe you're trying to read the Bible. Maybe you're trying to read a book. Maybe you're trying to learn about something that's going to help you prosper and grow. And you start to find yourself being distracted and your attention is taken away because your phone going off. Your attention is going away because your kids calling or in the way or something, or your spouse is, like something is pulling your focus to where you cannot focus. I need you to understand it's not about perfection. It's about being self-aware. It's about removing the distractions and acting on your self-respect, right? Having self-respect, pulling yourself into spiritual alignment, right? So I want to challenge you that if you are being distracted, to step back, take a deep breath, get comfortable, right? And let's begin to reflect together. I hope this message is hitting home and it's helping you to be able to see, like, hey, I'm distracted. I'm being distracted. Something is standing in my way. I feel like I'm not where I need to be, right? And maybe you are feeling stuck. But let's get unstuck together. Can I be honest with you for a second? Many of us, when we start to feel distracted or we don't feel like we're accomplishing that goal or that vision that we have set out for ourselves, right? We start to feel like, man, am I lazy? No, you're not lazy. What it is that you're being distracted, right? Sometimes we lose motivation while we're trying to accomplish certain things. But again, we have to take a step back, take that pause break, and we got to do some self-reflection. We got to self-evaluate. We got to look at the things that's taken our attention and our focus off the very thing that we are trying to do. So don't feel unmotivated, right? Don't feel like you're incapable, right? It's not that you're incapable. What it is, again, you, yes, you, I'm talking to you are distracted. And so ask yourself, if you feel like you ain't accomplishing those goals that you have set out for yourself, and you may feel like every time I try to write something out or every time I seek to do something, something come in and it stands in my way and prevents me from doing that thing. I want you to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what is distracting me? Right? Is it a person? Your spouse, your friends, your neighbors, whoever it is. Is it social media, right? Am I overthinking all the time? Am I being distracted by my thoughts, right? Is fear distracting me? Like, am I afraid that something may happen along the way and it's causing me to feel like, I can't accomplish this thing? Or is it something else, right? We have to understand that we all go through phases in our lives. But understand, you're not in this alone. You're not the only person that may be distracted by something that's preventing you. So I want to help you to grow and understand and pull your attention away from the distractions and back on you or back on God, right? Maybe you're trying to build a relationship with God, and every time you find yourself trying to read the Bible, your thoughts start to shift, right? Maybe you're trying to build a business, and every time you build or trying to build a business, your thoughts, the negative thoughts, everything negative starts to come into your thoughts, and you start thinking, oh, I don't have the finances, oh, I don't have the means, oh, I don't even know where to start, right? Those thoughts start to come into your mind and starts to distract you, right? But again, here it is. We have to remove the distractions, right? Because we got to understand too that not all distractions are negative distractions, right? Sometimes we are busy over serving other people. Sometimes we're busy being in conversations that we shouldn't be involved in, right? Maybe we'll just always scrolling through social media as a way to distract us from our thoughts, right? Maybe we're overthinking choices and decisions all the time, right? And so I want to help you, and I'm trying to help you understand that sometimes we have emotional distractions that's causing us to stray away from the very thing that we're trying to accomplish. And so those distractions that we feel emotionally are sometimes those attachments. Yep, I said it. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Maybe you have an emotional attachment to something or someone, and it's causing you to feel distracted. And so, how do I remove these distractions, Alicia? We need to be able to take action. So, number one, I want to challenge you to begin to, again, take a step back, and I want you to audit yourself, right? Audit yourself, your time for 3 days. Audit yourself, your time for 3 days. And I want you to ask yourself, does this move me forward, or do it keep me comfortable? Does it move me forward, or does it keep me comfortable? And then I want you, for 1 week, this week, you can start it today, you can start it tomorrow, you can start it whenever you want. But for a week, I want you to set a boundary. Set a boundary. Schedule intentional silence. See, sometimes we got to silence our phones. Sometimes we got to silence the TV. Sometimes we got to silence even our thoughts because it causes us to become distracted. And so we got to put out all the noise, shut out all the noise. Maybe it's a spouse that's causing you to be distracted, that loved one that's causing you to be distracted. We got to silence the noise. And number 5, we got to replace the scrolling. Yes, I said it. I'm talking to you because many of you are so addicted to social media, TikTok, Instagram. What's the other ones? I don't even know. But anyway, you're so distracted. So now I want you to use number 5 as replace your scrolling with reflection. Reflect on some things. What did I accomplish this week? What changed? What shifted? Right? Because we got to gain our our attention back. We got to set those boundaries. We got to remove the distractions, right? And so if this is you, please know that growth requires subtraction before multiplication. I'm going to say that again. Growth requires subtraction before multiplication. So, if this video has helped you and you feel that it is helpful, please share, like, subscribe, share it with somebody else who may benefit from this video, right? We are not walking alone. We in this together, okay? You. Yes, you. You got this. Until we meet in the next video. Bye.